Hi Kiwi, and welcome back to another episode of Hades 1. This is our mirror setup for the day. Today I'm going to take the Eris rail, and I'm going to toss on the Palm Blossom, and we're just going to let the fates decide how this build is going to go. We're going to go a casual 20 heat on the rail with 1 level of hard labor, maxing out jury summons, 3 levels of extreme measures, maxing out benefits package middle management, 2 levels of damage control because Eris handles that just fine, and 1 level of tight deadline.
Time to go.
No idea what to expect, but let's hope we get something fun. And we are starting with a hammer. Okay, not bad. Rocket bomb. All right, so there's a chance we could see cluster rockets, which I would be very happy to see. Yeah, let's go rocket bomb. All right, so now my special fires a straight line projectile. Granted, because we have damage control on, we can't start with the special because it'll break a shield, I guess, but it won't do any actual damage. But if we can later on get a second hammer that gives us cluster rockets, that'll be awesome. Now, it's been a while since I've run an Eris rail build where I actually wanted to play it the way it's meant to be played, and I have to remember that the special effect of the Eris rail is that if you stand in the AoE of your rocket explosion, your damage gets enhanced by, I think, about 75%. It's pretty incredibly substantial, actually. You can tell that we have the buff active because there's that flamey pattern, kind of almost looks like fiery wings coming from us while it's running. The one downside to having Eris with Rocket Bomb is that I have to stand relatively close range when I press the button to shoot. Let's see. Ares. We go for an Ares special, but I think we want something that is % damage based. We'll still take Ares. He could give us just a flat damage up, which wouldn't be bad for our Rocket Bomb damage, I suppose. So I guess even if there is a damage control shield, it's probably still worth hitting an enemy with the special point blank, just so that we can get the added effect. Although these are probably the wrong enemies to be as close as possible to, if my goal is to not get hit on top of everything else. 1 level of lasting consequences or hard labor is hardly going to matter too much in terms of our overall survival chance. So anyway, I guess what's new on the streets? I don't know what I want to say here. Hold on, after Harry's, I guess.
This world has a limitless capacity for pain, and so it truly is no inconvenience to help you to bring out a little more.
All right, what have you got for us? Lowest level of cast. I think we'll take Slicing Shot because I'm gonna go for Artemis at some point in this build. If we can get her on the special, that would be really fun for Rocket Bomb, so sure. And that sets us up for potential Hunting Blades. Granted, I am not running the right soul type from the mirror for this. We probably would do better with Stygian Soul. Oh, yeah, Stygian Soul over Infernal Soul. So we have Infernal Soul, which makes us recharge our cast stones. We'd rather one that just gives us a small salvo of them, and then we have to pick them up afterwards. That tends to perform a little bit better with Hunting Blades, unless of course you get the boons like Artemis' Legendary or Chaos boons that increase the number of casts you have. Then it's kind of everything wins.
Power of the gods.
All right, well, we've gotten just 3 levels on Slicing Shot now, so hopefully we do get Hunting Blades this run. That would be pretty cool, although I've never actually, I don't know if I've ever gotten like a build where Hunting Blades was relevant on Eris. Not that it can't be, mind you. It's just, it's not usually, I don't usually play around the cast on Eris. There's no reason why I can't. Eris is kind of a jack of all trades sort of weapon, since it's one of the few aspect weapons that gives a universal damage buff. Every source of damage, including damage over a time effects, are benefited brought by the Eris rail's damage steroid that it gives. So it's very popular in terms of its performance capabilities. We are lacking in terms of damage without any core boons on our attack or special, though. Aphrodite showing up, we could put her on the special just for the biggest meaty hits we could get, I think would be fun. Plus, that way we could potentially see Heartrend. If we do crit, we crit for a lot. Then maybe it's better to hold out for Artemis, that way we can crit on the special still. Yeah, okay, I think that's the plan. Let's put Aphrodite on the attack so we get some increased base attack on the some nice increased base damage on our attack. But let's save the special for Artemis, who could then crit and see huge numbers.
What do you say we go and make new friends together?
Whatever you say, Afro. All right, well, she heard my plan and said, well, that's cute. I don't really want her call. Of the gods that we have planned, none of them really have the greatest call for me. I think I'll reroll once here and try to get her attack. Let's do it.
What else we got?
Or we get none of it. I guess her dash is still a core boon that should, in theory, set us up for her duo. Her attack would be the easiest way to reliably apply Heart Rend, though, which is the one downside. I have to get kind of point blank to make this work, because it's bonus critical damage on weak afflicted foes, so they need to be weak afflicted, and well, whatever. I guess we dash point blank and then fire a rocket in their face is what we'll have to do for now, since the game said so. Who am I to question what the game has in mind for our playthrough? Anyway, so what do I want to talk about? So I want to briefly address kind of an issue that has come up in several of the videos. If you've been watching every episode, you likely know what I'm talking about. Although it's been a couple episodes since hopefully it's been resolved. But thankfully, I think at this point everything is properly resolved. What I'm getting at is, so episodes 128, 129, and 130 unfortunately had some pretty noticeable audio issues. I found 129 and 130 overall salvageable. 128 I kind of had to re-record a whole bunch. Unfortunately, the finale of Signalis and the potentially part of the episodes prior to that too, 17 and 16 namely, were affected. But basically what happened was I had a series of forced updates on my computer between a Windows update, a streaming software update, and just a personal space update where I kind of reorganized my living space to put things kind of in a better position. And as a result, things just got reset and messed up a whole lot. I think I'd probably take Aphrodite here and hope for her attack this time.
Really shouldn't have.
Okay, weakest attack, but doesn't matter. We're applying weak, which is what matters actually. And then we hold out for the Artemis special.
An incorrect decision there, my kitten, to side against me thus. Blood needs be shed, and yours is going to suffice.
You know, you would think that I would have an easier time dealing with Aphrodite's trial penalty, because you can just kind of move around, and as long as you see where the heart spawns in, you can dodge it pretty reliably. And yet I am so incredibly blind to that attack that I get hit more often than these giant, numerous AoEs on the ground. So it is what it is. We play to our weaknesses and strengths. Oh my goodness, this is not a great room. Many witches that are enhanced by armor and have damage up. Not a fun room. But at the very least, I can kind of kite around, try and pop their damage control shields, and then hit them with what I can elsewise. I guess, given the nature of the gods we're aiming for, our fourth god would probably ideally be Dionysus. If I can get his call, that'll be a huge amount of damage. And while it won't be the core of our build, I think he probably synergizes better than any of the other gods I could think of at this time. It's interesting. Aphrodite, Ares, Dionysus, and Artemis all just synergize very well with each other. Like if you were going to have four gods that synergize together, probably the most, all of their duos kind of stack on top of each other in some degree.
A war can only last so long, my kitten. This one is not worth the pursuit, I think, when we can wage a greater one together.
Gotta love seeing the Palm Blossom hit the dash. Love when that happens. No matter. We're gonna go ahead and take... I mean, Battle Rage would be really good if we do get Rocket Bomb going, but I think I'll hold out for a higher tier one just in case, and we'll take Black Metal here, because there's still a decent chance we see ourselves getting the Hunting Blades from Ares and Artemis later. So, fun fact, like I was saying, Rocket Bomb affects all forms of damage, including your Chthonic Keepsake. I think that did 1,800 damage, I believe, or it may have done less. It may have just killed the armor and done 850. I couldn't fully see. No matter. In theory, it should affect that.
I accept this message.
All right, so now she's giving us a really tempting special boon, but again, we're holding out for Artemis on that. I think, you know what, Dying Lament isn't bad because it'll make it very easy to apply weak to multiple enemies just by killing one. When foes are slain, they damage nearby enemies and inflict weak for 4 seconds. So that'll basically mean if we shoot down one enemy with our attack, everyone's getting a stack of weak placed on them. We'll go for Darkness here. We're still trying to stack as much of that as we can, although we have 5k. I should probably kind of cash in on that a little bit, shouldn't I? No matter. Anyway, so basically, the story I want to tell right now about the issues on the channel. So, like I said, those 3 episodes were most egregiously affected. The most affected were the finale of Signalis, so I had to re-record a whole bunch of things, and that made a half-hour recorded episode that should have been half an hour and done, or I guess it was like 42 minutes or something, take an extra like 2 or 3 hours to produce just to like fix it, because I didn't want to re-record everything I could, because I think it kind of, I don't want to put on a performance for what my real experience of that game was. I think it's really important to try and preserve how I experienced that game. And let me just say, my goodness, my conspiracy theories were so far off the mark. Like, having gone back and watched that footage, I'm like, why did I say this? This is so egregiously wrong. Like, I'm making all of the wrong theories. It's kind of embarrassing. And genuinely, I'm going to replay that game and kind of put together a mental conclusion to the entire story, I think. Like, I want closure on that, and I don't know if I'm going to get closure because I think a lot of it is intentionally vague. But there's definitely more conclusions that I can draw now that I've seen the ending, and I do want to kind of go back and, with the knowledge I have available to me, kind of piece together the final conclusions I can draw, and then start indulging in like like content creator pieces that kind of further delve in and analyze beyond what I'm capable of coming up with. 20% more damage on the attack is lovely, and hey, look who it is! It's Artemis. And I do believe I purchased a Yarn of Ariadne, which means there's a decent chance we get an increased rarity sort of attack boon or special boon here, which would be lovely. If she gives us epic tier, that's great. If she gives us nothing, we cry. But I mean, a higher tier pressure points won't be terrible, because as soon as we start getting crits, we're going to be having a good time. I would like a reliable crit on the special, so that we can, if we do get lucky enough to see cluster rockets on this run, we can have like the maximum amount of damage potential afforded to us. Anyway, so yeah, so I had to re-record a whole bunch of Signalis. We got another Pom level on the dash, darn it.
This time, I wonder.
Let's see. Okay, not the highest tier special, but a decent one. 52% increased damage, 20% chance to crit. That is huge for us. And now we're basically at the point of our build is really strong. All we need is one good hammer and whatever other duos the game is willing to throw at us.
I win this round, fish.
Let's see, what are we being offered? It's the end shot versus a Pom. I think what we do is we go for the Erebus Gate and then take whatever is offered after the gate. Again, I'm going to try and take more Erebus Gates where I can.
What's all this?
I'd like to see you dodge the following.
Because by doing so, I can potentially set myself up for the red onions, so even if I fail, I'm still getting something out of all of this, namely kind of codex completion. That said, if I play well, which maybe I shouldn't say that until after this is done, there is a decent chance that I play well enough that I get a coin out of this, and then more stuff to benefit from after that. I think right now the scariest things that this gate can throw at me are the teleporting enemies. Those skulls teleporting right behind me is pretty nasty, especially if I have to I need to constantly be moving so that if they teleport behind me, I'm not getting clipped by them. Are they void stones? I forget if they're called void stones, but the laser shooting crystals are not friendly either. They can, they don't do a lot of damage, but they can attack pretty quickly. All right, so here's the question: do we go for an early Hermes, or do we go for the shot that can give us a Pom, can give us a another God boon? I think, honestly, we go for the God boon. We have so much coin, and Hermes is going to show up later anyway. If we can get rush delivery, that would be amazing, but let's see. Demeter, okay, ugh.
I got to hurry it up.
Oh no, tight deadline. I am being way too slow. Okay, we got a melt meg. So we ideally would have gotten this on the special. We did not. Okay, think. Is there any what would I want from Demeter? I mean, the best thing she could offer is rare crop, and then we just kind of ignore her the rest of the run. The other consideration is that I get a fourth god, and now I don't have to worry about other gods showing up, stealing potential double dippings on the gods I actually care about: Aphrodite, Artemis, and Ares. Let's see. Ice Wine, I'm probably not. Oh, Crystal Clarity, we're not going to build into. Freezing Vortex, I guess we could get, but I don't really want that. Cold Embrace is also one we wouldn't really benefit from. I think I still take her just for the sake of getting my fourth god filled. Dionysus is cute, but most of the boons that I mentioned that he would benefit from, the duos with all the other gods, are focused on. What is it called? Oh goodness, my brain. They're focused on his hangover damage, and if we're only having that tied to his cast or his call, it'll be hard to reliably use that. So okay, let's go ahead and buy Demeter. We'll take the 14% more attack damage.
Juicy.
Do I take her aid, or do I might hold out for, I guess Artemis's aid would be best here. So why don't we take Frozen Touch Or do I reroll? No, I don't reroll. The reason why I don't want to take Demeter's Aid is because her duos don't do anything for me here. So if I take her call, I can set up for duos that'll lock in slots that would obstruct me from getting what I want later. So yeah, let's leave Demeter's Aid off the table. I guess Snowburst isn't terrible. I think I'll take Frozen Touch just to like reliably get status privilege if I take a hit. I'm going to be melee distance to a lot of enemies while I'm charging up rocket bombs anyway. All right, so we need to kill this Electo very quickly.
Keep waiting, ladies.
Well, if it isn't the god of trash himself, come die.
God of Blood, ma'am. God of Blood.
Kill.
All right, so we wait for her final phase before I toss Sisyphus, but I need to get Sisyphus out as quick as possible.
That does it.
I just need to toss out as many specials as I can because that is the bulk of our damage. Of course, if auto target decides she's still got her shield even though it's gone down, I'm not going to hit her with it, but it's fine.
He's getting angry.
Okay, this should be her final phase. Let's finish her with Sisyphus, and there we go. Wow. I don't think we took any tight deadline damage, but we definitely were about to, and like we ended at exactly 0 seconds. That's kind of impressive. But we ended before tight deadline would start doing damage. We had like 0.25 seconds over the deadline. Thankfully, no damage, and we're at full HP. We didn't get hit at all. That's kind of funny. All right, so the question becomes, do I keep the Palm Blossom so that maybe it gets some stacks on the special, or do I just force Artemis into Asphodel or Aphrodite? I don't think it really matters, honestly. I might just stick with the Palm and hope it hits the special at least once. But like, look at this. Everything except, granted, this is because we didn't get the special until very recently, but it has hit everything other than the special so far, and they're all level 3. Honestly, maybe I just let the Palm Blossom go. Nah. The gods will show up as they please. I think we're fine. We just want their duos at this point, and they're going to show up whether we want them to or not. The main thing is I want to lock in that call slot with Artemis or Ares, or even Aphrodite, honestly, just as long as it's not Demeter. Nothing here I want. On to the next floor. Anything to sell? No, not at this point. Okay, so I think we're just gonna ride the Palm Blossom for the rest of the run, and hopefully we'll get some nice levels on the special, even if it's not a bunch. A couple will add up to a lot of extra damage. I mean, we saw with Aphrodite, even at its lowest rarity, one level gave it 20% more damage, and even that one level on the special is pretty substantial for us. Can we get that pot? Thank you. Anyway, so before I get completely tangented off, what I want to say about the recording situation was largely just everything should be up to date now. I think the issue was basically it was kind of like a stepwise process that all results from me being completely out of date on all of my drivers.
Nice.
I don't quite know why the noise gates got reset other than my software updating and Windows updating and my repositioning of the mic for some reason reset things. For context, I'm using a Blue Yeti microphone. I got it as a Christmas gift a couple years ago for Kiwi and I to share, kind of to see if we wanted to record together, which we haven't really yet, but it is something we're going to explore at some point. We just have to find the mental, emotional, and temporal energy to do so. Temporal meaning we just have the time to do it, you know? An Ares boon versus a Hermes boon versus a Palm. Skip the Palm here. Hermes could set us up for the most possible damage. Ares could set us up for his duo with Artemis, and not much else. I think for now we take Hermes because we want damage on the special. Hermes is the best way to potentially get damage on the special, or we get special attack speed up, which might make it so we can fire it off faster, which is still more damage overall. We still don't have a reliable way of getting status privilege. The only way I can get it right now is if I take a hit and then have Chilling Touch from Demeter activate, her revenge boon, which is cool on paper, but I get it, cool. No, not funny, I know. But it's fine. I think soon enough Demeter will show up. We'll probably next take her Snowburst. Maybe I should have taken Snowburst, that way I could more reliably just be point blank, toss out a cast, and then get the damage buff from that. That's probably what I should have done. Critting for 641 on the special.
No time to waste and so on, cuz. Now choose.
All right, what have you got for us, Herms? Attack, dash, quick recovery. I'm going to reroll once and see if we can set up for potential greater rush delivery sort of things. Auto reload isn't a bad choice too, because we could potentially well, that would help us with hunting blades, and it would set us up for bad news, which,
Right along.
if you're unaware, bad news, Hermes Legendary, is a universal damage buff. It gets 50% damage to everything, despite saying only your cast damage. I think between Ares or the shop, we go for the shop because we could see Artemis here. If Demeter shows up again, we kind of just curse at her and move on with our lives. Probably buy her anyway, though. Random boon, and it is... Alright, how do we curse at Demeter? I guess we can't curse that much because she does give us Snowburst, so we can more reliably use her... now we can definitely get status privilege. I go point blank, I toss out a rocket, I toss out a attack and a cast, and everyone is just cursed.
Fancy running into you again.
I just need to make sure that I'm remembering to stay within point blank distance of these guys. I'm dropping Sisyphus here to try and take out the Skull Crusher as quick as possible, because I don't know what it is about this boss, but I am so prone to taking damage from these mini bosses. It's kind of pathetic.
Enough of them.
And there's Heartrend. Okay, perfect. So now whenever I tag an enemy with weak, they take 150% more damage from crit. That'll make our rockets hit a ton, or hit very hard, if they crit. And they're already hitting fairly hard. I mean, that was a 651 with no levels of Pom on the rockets yet. I don't even know if it was enhanced by the effect of the rail yet, because I may have missed the rocket bomb on myself. Definitely our attack damage is leaving something to be desired. It's not the core of our build, and I need to get that out of my head that I'm so used to playing like Zeus builds where the AoE and all of the stacking effects from Zeus boons kind of override the fact that the base damage on the Ares Rail isn't that impressive on its attack specifically. Its rockets do a fair bit of damage, especially with Rocket Bomb increasing the base damage to 80. But I don't know. That's the thing about the rail, is that it doesn't always feel its strongest until later in the game. But you need some boons. This is not talking about the aspect of Hestia, of course. The aspect of Hestia is just one of the strongest kind of burst weapons in the game, unquestionably. So, all right, I'm really having trouble focusing on the conversation that I'm trying to maintain. Wow, these are all the lamest possible options for the Pom. Are we just gonna play the game of it will never hit my special? Because I feel like we're building towards that right now. I'm probably gonna switch out the Pom Blossom for Artemis in Elysium, honestly, because I don't feel this going well. I guess I feel like the one I'm going to use the most is probably Snowburst, so I'll take that just because I'm going to be point blank. I'm not re-rolling here because I think my re-rolls are more valuable for duos. Of course, if they're going to offer us a free key to get more re-rolls out of, maybe it doesn't matter. I guess if I get below 3 re-rolls, that's my point of maybe peeling back, but for now, I would maybe re-roll for a couple better Poms. Anyway, okay, focusing. So basically what started off was my noise gates got reset, and what that ended up meaning is that several things of dialogue and commentary get cut off. Particularly, I found that it was most noticeable in the Hades runs whenever I was like pausing to think about what I wanted to buy from the shop. And then beyond that, it was a matter of just randomly certain words would be getting cut off. Typically when it happened, it was when I was, it was the start or end of a sentence where I either, like, the microphone has to turn on to notice that I'm talking, or it's turning off early because I start to, I guess I notice I tend to get a little bit quieter when I either start or stop a sentence, which is, I guess for me, like, understanding how my way of speaking, it's interesting, but on the other hand, it's frustrating when it...
Zagreus, I was just hoping for a little privacy before this hunt, which is consistently my preference here. Except you see, Lord Ares always seems to come sniffing about for sign of any hunting instruments.
Ares just feels like he has a very focused special interest and a bit of a fanboy.
Why, my dear Artemis, the hunt is but a prelude to a war. Is that not so? For if all mortal kind knew naught of hunting, why, they would not be nearly so adept at killing one another.
If you say so, bud.
Look, Lord Ares, if I lend you better marksmanship ability, you think that you could bother someone else?
Artemis has no interest in this like interaction. She wants out very badly, but okay, there is hunting blades. We'll gladly take that.
Both them might.
So that'll be nice for some extra damage, especially if it's enhanced by the Ares Rail, and if we can get Ares Legendary, that would be really cool.
If only you knew just how I feel, Ernie.
I think Lerny knows a little bit. Alright, so basically just need to keep the attack on, toss out what casts I can so that I get status privilege going, and we get some really good damage. Alright, focusing back to the topic at hand, as poorly as I am doing that, mind you. What I want to say is drivers got updated, my noise gates got reset, audio got cut off left and right. It was very frustrating. I did re-record episode 18 of Signalis, episode 128 of Hades. I didn't fully re-record. I just kind of tried to fix the most egregious areas of audio balancing, or like audio loss, I suppose, because like I said, just for the Signalis, the 42-minute episode of Signalis, that fixing everything took far longer re-recording bits and pieces than I want to admit. It would have been easier to just re-record the whole episode, but I didn't want to lose the honesty in the experience, I suppose, for lack of a better way to describe it. And so ultimately it was exhausting, and I just don't have the time, motivation, energy, whatever the resources need be to make that a feasible, repeatable way to fix things. So cut my losses, put a little blurb at the start of those episodes, said
Any more heads you'd like chopped off?
the audio is heavily affected. I am sorry. It won't last forever. I'm getting things fixed. And I got things fixed. As far as I can tell, all the audio should be fixed
We'll
now
have you back here soon enough, I think.
in the subsequent episodes. All right, let's take the Artemis keepsake and keep hunting for Artemis spoons here.
Okay.
Anything to sell here? Honestly, I probably sell Frozen Touch now that I have Snowburst, because we don't need more levels landing on anything other than what I can. All right, let's take that. Snowburst can get hit by the Pom, unfortunately, and look at this. Everything except the special is landing on level 3. This is getting a little frustrating, guys. Can we not, please? Probably don't want to do this, but I want to do this, so we'll take that free money. All right, and I'm giving up the Pom Blossom. It is clear that we are never going to hit the special with even a Pom that lets me choose, frankly, based on how things are going. RNG is not in our favor, Kiwi, it seems. I mean, Pom RNG, everything else RNG-wise has been quite nice. All right, do we take the Pom? I mean, obviously we take the Pom. We've got plenty of HP, and even if I lose a Death Defiance, I'm not terribly worried. We should be seeing our next hammer soon, because it typically shows up in Elysium. If we can get genuinely, if we can get cluster rockets or even triple bomb, I think we're gonna have a very good, strong special build. If we don't get those and it ends up on the attack, then well, that wouldn't be the first time, would it? There have been so many runs that we thought we were gonna end up getting cluster rockets and we just don't get it. I'm gonna attack myself. Sometimes when I don't really want to stand point blank to enemies, the best way to deal with them is to just fire a rocket into a wall next to me. Auto target's a bit of a pain. It kind of really likes to home in on enemies, so unless I'm standing point blank against a wall, I'm not going to tag it like that. So I do need to be careful of that. But right now, unfortunately, depending on our special for damage, hasn't been paying off that much. We could really use more crit chance. Getting Hunter's Mark on the field would be amazing. Of course we get a Chariot. I'm just going to kite it back. On the bright side, though, I guess at the very least, we are very reliably applying status ailments, which lets status privilege happen. And also gets some decent DPS. Now, I guess another tangent because I can't hold a train of thought at all. Still no special, but at least we can put it on the attack. Status privilege, I never thought about it. It's a double entendre. Status privilege, like you are privileged due to your status, and you are privileged.
Do not so much as think about it.
Because you are putting status ailments on your opponents, which I think is actually a very clever naming scheme that I never appreciated until just now somehow. But that's actually really clever. Cool. How did that special just like thread the needle on all of those enemies and not hit a single one of them? I call bull hockey.
That one fully rearmed.
Yeah, I know, because the auto targeting is just complete and total arse right now. I don't know what to say. Like, these shots should not be being missed, and yet they are. Our DPS is pretty heavily lacking, ain't it, Kiwi? Unfortunate. I think I saw an enemy fly over this way. Nope. Okay, cool.
They had their chance.
We're definitely gonna need to buy some HP in one of these coming rooms. Hopefully Hermes here gives us something nice since we have auto reload. There's a decent chance we see his legendary. Not a non-zero chance if nothing else. How did I not get hit by any of that? This is not fun, Kiwi. This is not fun. Oh gosh. My cast doesn't block their projectiles and they have damage control. All right, I'm just gonna have to go in guns blazing and try and take them out. There we go. Okay. As long as I try and stand behind them, it's mostly if there are too many that spawn at once that I can't really contend with. I've somehow forgotten that I have hunting blades and should be just spamming it off cooldown. Okay, critting for 961. Cool. And there's bad news. So we just get a flat 50% damage upgrade to any enemy without a cast stone in them. We're going to go for the shop here because we can potentially buy HP, we can potentially buy a Pom, and most importantly, we may see Artemis. Nope, it's Demeter again. Please, special. How? Why? Why will you not give me your special? Why will you not let me Pom the special? Why? Why are you like this? Honestly, I think our cast does more damage at this point, so we're going to take that. But this game, Kiwi, this game. We're going to take Ravenous Will when you have no... Yeah, sure. When we have no Bloodstones, we take 10% less damage and deal 10% more. Oh, this is a tough choice. Artemis versus our second hammer. I mean, if we get Cluster Rockets, we just win. But Artemis can set us up for her legendary. We still need a whole lot of boons out of Artemis, so I think we have to take every Artemis rune we get. I'll drop Boldy for health here.
I'm still learning all your tricks, short one. Come show me more.
All right. Mwah. Just run up and give the bull a kiss on the nose. I wouldn't recommend kissing cows. Like, I mean, well, okay, let me rephrase that. I wouldn't recommend kissing calves. Crypto is a very fun infectious disease typically spread by calves, and if you want to have, if you want to ever have the experience of what cholera is like, that's the closest, probably, closest approximation, I imagine. I had some friends who worked at the dairy who, very much had some very, very terrible experiences, I would say. All right, well, on the bright side, when we do crit, we do a pretty hefty number of damage, and if nothing else, we have good range. Here we go.
Enough, you win.
That was a pretty clean Asterius, and I forgot to Boldy anyway.
Got him that time.
Okay. Artemis, come on. I don't know what I'm looking for, but honestly, 4% crit chance with pressure points. Nice. That'll add us up to 24% crit chance with the special. Lets us crit with the attack, and hunting, slicing shot in particular can get a lot of attack crits in very quickly because it attacks so rapidly. And there's our hammer. Okay, Kiwi, this is the moment of truth. Given how the special build has just failed us so far, I'm going to set my expectations extraordinarily low, in full keeping with how things tend to go with these sorts of runs. I have potential, and then it just ends in disappointment. But who knows? Maybe we do get the Cluster Rocket dream. One can certainly dream. Shielders are a little bit of an antithesis to this build until we toss out the Hunting Blades, and then they can't do anything against us. Basically, what I want from this build is I want max level I want Hunting Blades, Ares Legendary, Triple Bomb, Ricochet Fire. So we did not get Cluster Rockets, but we do get Triple Bomb, which means I can rapid fire the Rocket Bomb. So it's basically looking like this. So it's not 5 shots at once, which would be amazing damage, but it is 3 shots in relatively short order, and a Fountain Chamber gets us out of here a little bit unpunished. Oh, there's a fish? Where? I almost left before I even saw that fish. All right, Kiwi, place your bets. There's a Pom coming up. Do we get it on the special? Anyway, I know I've been trying to get one thought out of my head this whole episode pretty much, but the point is I updated the drivers of my software. I have fixed the noise gates. I have updated my editing software. Everything is up to date on drivers. It was basically a sequential process of this driver is not updated. Now you can't use this. Now you've updated this driver. You can't use this. And it was just basically I had to get everything on the same patch. Everything was out of sync. Everything was just horrible. But everything should be working now, and it's my own fault for not like updating things. Like my my editing software was like a full. I don't know how to like describe it properly, but you know how when you have like a major patch, you go from version 1.0 to version 2.0, for example, or you have like the minor patches that are still considered part of the same like full number. So you go from version 1 to version 1.1, 1.2, so on and so forth. Well, I was on like version 18 point something, and I upgraded to version 19.13 or something. So I was super out of date on a number of things. Best thing that I'm really excited about is, so my editing software had this annoying issue where if you unplugged your headphones while editing, you had to reload the entire program if you wanted to hear audio through the headphones again. Basically, as soon as you unplug it and you play through the main speakers, no matter what you do, the editing software will only play through the main speakers and not the headphones. So I would have to restart the software, make sure my headphones were plugged in, and we're still not getting this on the attack or on the special. I am so glad I got rid of Palm Blossom. We would have never hit that special. Okay, this is impressively frustrating. I'm kind of enamored with how terrible our RNG is at this point. Not a single offering for the special. Everything is going to be at minimum level 3 except the special, the thing we are building around. Come on, game, seriously. We're going to take Patroclus here. Not that the attack is the core of our build,
Weak, my friend.
but at the very least, it will help us something.
Please make yourself at home here in this corner of eternal paradise.
Alright, so Cyclops Jerky select 60% more damage on the attack for the next 10 encounters.
Thank you.
I think I have given up on Poms. Let's go to the shop and maybe see someone other than Demeter in the shop for a change. Okay, that's an improvement. Hi, Afro.
I'll pay for that.
Alright, is there anything I want? We got Heartrend. What is her duo with our, we don't know. Okay, her Ares duo is not what we want. Aphrodite's aid is cute because we can enhance the damage it deals by using the Air Spoon, but honestly, I think at this point, is there anything we're actually looking for? No, we got the 2 duos we want. It's just legendaries. Ares legendary and Artemis is legendary. About all else we could want. So I guess, do we take the aid? I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter whose aid we take. And I don't want to take Artemis's aid because there are other things I want from Artemis. I think we just take the call here, simply by virtue of the fact that it'll keep Artemis from offering her aid, which means we could see a better boon from her later. Granted, to even see her legendary, we need at least 2 more boons from her.
Prepare to be sent back into the depths whence you came.
No, you. Look at that. All right. That's some nice special damage on if we crit. Without crit, we're only doing 200 damage. I'm just going to focus down. Ooh. Okay. All right. Oh my god, Asterius, really? Okay, so we do 222 damage if we don't crit. Would be cool if we crit, though. I'm just going to... I do think I'm just going to focus down Ares. Why did I say Ares? I am taking so much damage.
That was nothing.
All right, the bull is charging again. Okay, this time he didn't do loop-de-loops around the circles. It's cool of him. I just want to take out Theseus so bad. All right, we phased him, so I'm going to just prioritize taking out the bull. All right, they're both phased. Man, Theseus wastes so much time.
Let's complicate things.
Oh my goodness. Theseus just got melted. Did you see his HP? Like, that was a waste of an Aphrodite call, honestly, because Sisyphus obviously did most of the damage that we needed. But that felt cool while it could happen. Oh my goodness, really? Here, let's do this. I just want to try and tag him with Snowburst if I can, but he's going to do this, so we're just going to bail out and spam special. Alright. I'm glad that at least hit him. He's probably going to charge at us soon. Crit for a 997 there without status privilege. That's not terrible for us. Alright, there we go. That was a really rough Heroes. I almost lost 2 Death Defiances. But I was
That'll show them.
maybe gimmicking a little too hard.
To my greatest fan.
Alright. I'm clearly playing this build wrong, but also this build has played me wrong. Like, really wrong. How much do you want to bet if we get a Pom, it's not going to offer the special again? But alright, we've used this. What do we take now? I guess I could take Distant Memory and just, like, spam special from a safe distance away. That might honestly be what I do. Let's see what's in our well. Maybe it gives us something worth there. Not really. I will pay 25 coin for 44 HP. That seems well worth it. And 50% more cast damage is also worth it. It'll at least clear up 1 chamber of sticks quickly. And if we go for a mini-boss, that would really be helpful. Yeah, I think Distant Memory is the call here. That'll give us 30% more damage, and I can play super safe that way. All right, Orpheus, we'll use your keepsake very gladly.
20 boons worth giving up.
And then we'll buy the 50% more cast damage. And that, again, will help us for a mini-boss chamber. So, that said, though, back to the previous topic, if you hear any audio glitches, if anything sounds off, if you're hearing more background static because of how my noise gates have been reset, please let me know right away, because I really do want to get things back to where they were, which I think was a pretty stable, predictable, healthy position for what I was trying to accomplish, and now everything's just become a disheveled mess. There's a high-tier Aphrodite boon. Do we have any Aphrodites in the shop? No. Okay. So still plenty of options for Ares to give us some nice stuff. I guess let's take the Aphrodite boon first. We can reroll for something maybe if there's anything worth enticing us. Actually, let's go for the coin first. I'm going to take the coin and then we'll worry about the minor chambers. We will at the bare minimum, even if we have to do an extra chamber of sticks, go for that Artemis boon. But I want Aphrodite, I want Artemis, and I'm going to try and buy those Ares and Hermes boons if I can, which is why I'm going for the coin first. I don't think I will buy the Poms. Those Poms have just been hurting me. So unless we have a lot of extra coin left over after all these chambers, I probably won't go that route. I think I've been stiffed a little bit too much on this run. How many Poms did we get through this run, and how many of them did not end up where I wanted them? Because most of them, I think. Like, yeah, we got some nice damage on the attack, but we've already established this is not an attack build. It will never be an attack build because the Aphrodite attack on Eris kind of underperforms, all things considered.
No way.
Oh, well. But I think that's the moral of the story.
And father thinks my chambers are a mess.
At the very least, now that we have triple bomb, though, we are melting HP bars very quickly. At minimum, we're doing 690, and that's without a single crit, which we are just not having good RNG, Kiwi. It's kind of funny.
What do we have here?
But even with bad RNG,
Enough
can't
of this
deny that
place.
Eris damage. Cannot deny it. All right, let's see. I think we go for the Hermes boon first because that won't steal Poms.
Wouldn't you know it, boss? I was just minding my own business, handing off a few dearly departed souls to my professional associate, and who shows up but you?
Actually, in hindsight, I don't think there's anything Hermes really offers us other than special speed, maybe. I mean, second wind could give us dodge chance, but I'm not going to be using it. I think we take quick favor. That way we can charge up the Aphrodite call and at least see that do some damage.
That's the stuff.
There aren't really any Poms here. All right, let's do the Aphrodite room. I'm going to sit on the Poms and the Ares boons until all the chambers are complete so we know what our final gold tally is at. So I definitely think I can afford at least both Ares boons, and that could, if I buy the low tier boon first, I can potentially get another tier 2 that enhances our special, and then see his duo after, or his legendary after that, which will enhance hunting blades. Worst case scenario, we get hunting blades first, and then we get, actually, this is probably the best case scenario. We get hunting blades first from the low tier boon offer. No, I don't think I sell these. All right. Worst case scenario, we get his low tier. The low tier boon gives us his legendary, and then I can use the higher tier boon to get the upgraded duration boon. What is it? Engulfing vortex, metal vortex, something like that. Like, we have black metal, which increases the AoE. We just need the one that like suctions enemies in and increases the duration. All right, what have you got, Afro?
An entire sack of something.
All right, empty inside, longer durations. Okay, I think we probably want Sweet Surrender out of anything she could offer, but let's just scroll through this real quick and make sure. Yeah, there's nothing here other than that boon that I would want. We can't even get her legendary, so yeah, we'll take this. Weak afflicted foes are more susceptible to damage and take 15% increased damage. Love it. That's probably the best boon she could have offered here, so very gladly taking that. We cannot afford that high tier Ares boon. Like I said before, I will do the Artemis Chamber at the very minimum to see if we can get, I don't know, support fire, something fun.
Mine. I caught one.
So let's go ahead and buy that Ares boon first.
Should come in useful.
Curse of Vengeance. There it is. Engulfing Vortex. Your Blade Rift effects last longer and pull foes in. Lovely. So that'll upgrade Hunting Blades a fair bit. All right, I do have the, is that Cyclops Jerky? That's probably Cyclops Jerky. I'm not caring about the
Should check this
attack damage, though, so if we still had the cast damage up, maybe I'd consider going straight to Hades, but I think it's for fun, right, Kiwi? At the end of the day, it's for fun, so let's go that route. We are seeing at least some nice crits. Definitely not my best crit build, but this is definitely one of those runs where it's like RNG just decided it could not be so. Man, what I would have given for a little bit more damage on the special. No matter. Anyway. So yeah, I guess long story short, please let me know if you hear anything kind of glitching audio-wise in this run. I have been trying to check the more recent recordings, and as far as I can tell, there haven't been any major glitches, but I've only finally just gotten everything kind of finally fixed. 20 coin for more damage on the cast. This could lock us out of being able to afford Ares. I don't know if it's worth it. Kiwi, what do you think? Yeah, let's do it. Worst case scenario, I just use it to run an extra chamber and get more gold. These rats with damage control shields are kind of rough unless you have, you're sitting in your blade vortex, which is pretty easy to do, frankly, so they're not as rough. Maybe they're not that rough, but if I didn't have hunting blades or I didn't have slicing shot, I would have a lot more trouble popping all these damage control shields. Alright, we're gonna use this Greater Call to take out the 7,000 damage from Aphrodite's Greater Call. That's disgusting. I love it. Alright, well, we get to do that to Hades later. Yeah, it's a one-time shot, but... I mean, again, this is the power of the Ares Rail and why I hold it in such high regard no matter what its actual performance is. Like, because...
Who dares threaten my little goblin?
I did kind of waste that on the armor there, but it's fine. I got hit of... interesting, those rats can stagger you and hit you out of animations. My cast got canceled. Okay, Hunter's Mark. It was exactly what we would have wanted to see way earlier in the run. We still take it because crit chance is crit chance, and crit chance just wrecks faces. Cannot afford the Ares boon. Alright, we have two options. I either try and save up enough coin and do the Demeter room, hoping to be able to afford Ares, or we go for the meme and take the Pom and get one last chance at it landing on the special. This was supposed to be a special build. I think that's what I'm going to do. Here we go, Kiwi. Place your bets. Does it land on the special?
I can use this.
It does not. All right, we reroll once.
How about some other boons instead?
It does not. We reroll twice. It does. It did. Okay, it finally landed. Can we emphasize the fact that I had to use 3 rerolls here? Like 3 total rerolls, only rerolled twice, mind you, but just to get 1 Pom on the special. And now the ending theme is it ends on level 3. Like, wasn't it? It was poetry, right? Poetry in motion. Everything had to be level 3 at some point in this run, except for black metal. Let's not talk about it. All right, let's just end this run. This run was cursed to fail.
Joyfully, the Hound of Hell accepts another satyr sack.
Like, how many times did the special boon dodge a Pom rolling on it? Like,
now, boy.
Yeah, the chances of it hitting the special decrease with each boon we got that could be Pommable, but even then, we got some Poms that only gave us the tier 2 boons that are completely useless with Poms.
I don't think I'll ever get accustomed to the breeze.
I guess I shouldn't complain. I got a level 18 Glacial Glare the other day. I really shouldn't complain.
You are predictable in your arrivals here. Less so during the fight itself.
This is like the law of averages being like on both extremes of incredibly good RNG and incredibly terrible RNG, and they're just balancing each other out.
Darkness.
Well, no matter. We made it work. Alright, 1,300 crits, not bad. I'm just face tanking this damage because I don't need to care. I should probably care a little, though. I should probably care at least a little bit. Try to kill what I can of his little minions while he's invisible. Oh, that cheeky archer. Okay, you know what? Fine, you win. Can you get out of here? You are not invited to this party no matter what Hades says. Okay, it's gone. It's Revenant, and it's going to be a problem. We'll just Hunter's Market. Okay. Dad, come back. I know you're there. All right. Snowburst. Crit, crit, crit. No, not a single crit. Forgot to hit him with the attack anyway. All right. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take out his little friend so they can't steal the Aphrodite call. And I'm just going to... Oh, he dashed away. Come on. And it missed. Yes, I would, except I would have preferred to pit you against you. Oh, hello. I'm attacking, trying to use my special. That's not a great look. Alright, yeah, we're doing nice, juicy 1,300 crits. And we're out of Death Defiance, so I need to play back. Right. Second phase is a lot more tenable for me to manage, though, so I'm fine. Here we go. Alright, we just spam special. We accept that this run is cursed, and I do not need to be a melee build with some of the longest range in the game with Rocket Bomb. Just need to make sure that I tag myself with it every now and again. Alright, toss out a slicing shot. And if you're gonna stand still for us, you aren't. Or you are. Right, I need to be most careful about lasers and projectiles. I think that's a laser. At least he announces when he's gonna do it. Behold this.
Oh, it shall be my pleasure.
Oh, I forgot to enhance my damage. Oops, that's a mistake. Oh well, we're probably not going to see another greater call. But there we go. Second phase. Oh, hey, Boldy.
Ahoy! You mean to mock me with such tricks?
Oh, no, 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 no. Oh my goodness, how did I dodge? How did I not get hit by any of that? Ooh, spooky. Hello. Okay. I like that he laughs when he gets charms. It's really cute. Anyway, salvage that, but that was a hot mess, Kiwi. That was such a hot mess of a run.
What shall it take for you to
dance?
Let's do this again.
All right. In summary, please let me know if you hear audio glitches. In summary of the run, I wish this went better. We were so cursed by RNG, but at least we can make the end slate look pretty. Okay, let's see. What do we do? We get we put Aspect of Eris, of course. We put Bad News. Like, should I really complain about Bad News, Heartrend, Hunting Blades, and Rocket Bomb? Like, on paper, this was a very good RNG run, but somehow it just felt like we had the worst possible RNG in several instances, and I'm going to complain about it because I'm a whiny bitch. Anyway, Kiwi, I hope you've enjoyed this one. 89 win streak, 121 total clears, and a fish.
A couple coins.
All right, what have you got for us, fishies?
There.
A trout.
A fine catch.
I don't... No, we want a sturgeon if we want to get Titan Blood, but actually, I guess I don't want Titan Blood, so it's better that I'm slow on those catches.
Then, valiantly striding Zagreus was set upon by 7 bloodless slam dancers and slain, or something of the sort.
Well, I think in summary, just like how our Poms chose to focus on everything other than the main point of the special, I also had like the most rambling ADHD brain. I couldn't hold a thought for a second.
Hooray! Good thing you're basically immortal, huh?
So maybe the Pom distribution was as poetic as it could be.
Greetings.
You let me know if you see any dust around here, won't you, Prince?
Does Zagreus even know what dust looks like?
Fight as though you've but one life to live.
Something tells me he's never had to do that sort of menial task in his life. Oh, thanks, Dad.
We ought to reconvene the court now, I suppose.
Oh, a new comment from Morpheus.
Rests peacefully upon his favored spot.
Maybe he's going to notice us practicing the wire and getting better at it.
Please.
Anyway, at the end of the day, all of my software should be now up to date. My hardware is in the right position and recording as well as I can tell properly. And hopefully that's the end of those issues for some time to come. If not, let me know. That's kind of the long story short. Sorry, my brain is so ADHD ridden that I couldn't hold a single thought. That took me like 4 biomes to get out. Jeez.
Obvious. The distant memory you gave me. It's a bit of your past with Eurydice in there, isn't it? I'm grateful, but why give me such a precious gift as that?
I'm glad you like it, Zagreus. Some memories are cherished, yes, indeed. But there can come a point where they provide more benefit to others than ourselves. Don't you agree?
I guess I can see that. Cheers.
Well, that's the nature of keepsakes. You keep them because they have memories.
The wretched broker did it.
And sharing those memories with others sometimes can be just as meaningful as the original memory itself. Especially if that memory is shared with someone you care about.
A deal to pass up. I come to you bearing a quinted beast.
Chef, what do you give us? Oh, wow, that's a lot of fish. 1 diamond, 2 nectar, and 175 gems. Not terrible.
Remain unseen, my child.
All right, what have you guys got to say? Where has Nyx been lately? You don't suppose cause of death curiosity. Were you killed by trying to figure out where Nyx went? I mean, it sounds like she might be hitting it off with Ares a little bit, which is odd. It's just, it feels so odd.
I can't.
All right, we can't afford all the fated authorities. I was just trying to see if we could. We're almost there, though. We're almost at the point where we have enough darkness to buy everything in the mirror. Oh, yay, a sword run. We all know my opinion on the sword, right, Kiwi?
Far greater gods than I once wielded you.
All right, I have an idea for a silly run, and I'm going to try it and see what happens. That said, what do we need? We need Aphrodite for this. Okay, Kiwi, I have a really stupid gimmick build in mind. I don't know how it's going to work, but I have a plan. And actually, having leveled up Fated Authority will help us do that. Regardless, let's say goodnight to Skelly and we'll make this plan happen tomorrow. With all that said, Kiwi, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep.
What do I look like, pal? Some kind of conversationalist?
If you're sleeping, I hope you're sleeping well. I love you, and I will see you in the next one for some more Hades fun.
Never felt so alive.